Are you feeling lonely and unfulfilled because you're single? Well, stop, because today I'm gonna cover everything you need to thrive during your singlehood. I have a question for you guys. Why do you keep re-downloading Hinge and Tinder? I get it. You're lonely, you want some validation and love, you're afraid of rejection, and you don't want to get up and have a conversation with a real person. If you're a recovering empath like me, you'll always be thinking about anyone else but yourself. You'll also think, once I get into a relationship, I can finally go to this place or do this thing with my significant other. What we're gonna do is scrap everyone else in those dating apps because it's time to get selfish. Now let me introduce you to the art of me time. Being in your single era or having me time is not just this part of your life where you're selective about your activities. Yes, there are wonderful times that can be had with a partner and even friends and family. And while I can't turn back time to my previous relationships where I would spend every spare second either texting or with my ex, I not only forgot the other people who were most important and supportive of me, I forgot that I needed and deserved time for myself. And not only might have this led to better outcomes in my past relationships, I would have been able to love and understand myself more and realize that happiness comes from within. When you embrace time alone, you realize that you're your own best company. And at 23 years of age, I have never enjoyed time with myself so much while I've been single. I look back and cringe at the old me who used to completely lose herself trying to be that girlie that looks like she has her life together just because she's in a relationship. I'll be honest, embracing singlehood is unknown territory, and you'll be slightly self-conscious doing some things by yourself for the first time. But it's actually shocking how many girls I meet who refuse to do anything without a male companion to escort them. Say goodbye to that girl because you're no longer her. This new, happy, single you can focus on what's important: health, exercise, hobbies, or your career. Sleep better with no one but you on your mind and no one to steal the covers. Be your 100% true self. You won't have to filter the way you speak, eat, talk, or walk for anyone. Have complete control over your time and money. Save yourself the unnecessary relationship headaches because who wants that? Have the freedom to discover yourself. Develop your current relationships with friends and family members. You won't need to make any compromises, and you can be entirely and utterly selfish. Still feeling lonely? Not validated? Well, it's time to date yourself. How on earth do I date myself? I surely need someone else to go on a date with, right? Wrong. Let's start the beginner's guide to dating yourself. The art of dating yourself is focusing your attention and energy on your personal development and self-care as opposed to a boyfriend or girlfriend. This includes treating yourself, building your self-confidence, and ultimately giving yourself the attention that you deserve. And if this is not the purest form of self-love, then I don't know what is. Now here's an example of past you that we're leaving behind. Let's count how many times she's put her relationship, dating, situationship, or whatever you want to call it before herself. Let's imagine that you downloaded Hinge and you've been talking to this guy that you really like for weeks. You've been going back and forth, getting to know each other by text, and he finally pops the question. Not, will you marry me? It's, can I take you out? And finally the day arrives. You're so excited to dress up and put your best outfit on. You have your nails done, your skincare and your makeup is on point. You arrive and then you guys have a great time. But eventually it's time to go home, and you're anticipating the next time you can look your best again on the condition that he asked you out. Let's add another layer to the story. You're so excited to receive flowers from him, tell you you're beautiful, and even take you on a holiday, all in the months to come. The question you need to ask yourself: why wait for all of this? Now, the most important quote that you can take from the story is from the book Why Men Love Dishes. Attraction Principle 44 says most women are starving to receive something from a man that they need to give to themselves. Now this time we're going to turn this example around and imagine you're getting ready in the same outfit and looking your best just for you. Hold on, these are not mistakes, and the lessons that we can learn include: you don't need to download Hinge to connect with someone, you can connect with yourself. How? It doesn't take weeks. Take 10 minutes out to find some self-discovery prompts on Pinterest and you'll be surprised about what you learn about yourself through them. Now finally, pop the statement, not the question. I'm gonna take myself somewhere. It can be the art gallery, a cooking class, even the cinema. Now you're getting ready and getting dressed in that same outfit, looking your best just for you. And while you're getting ready, you can look in the mirror and tell yourself how proud you are of her and how beautiful she is and how much she deserves. Set a time and date on your own conditions, spend the day on your terms, and have a great time. You can buy yourself flowers and even turn heads because you're fine walking alone with me, myself, and I. And once you're finally home, you can go back out whenever you want and you don't have to depend on someone to ask you out again. It's that simple. All of these things you've been dreaming of and waiting to receive in a relationship, you probably will, but you have to give it to yourself first. Don't wait to be in a relationship because not only will you be living in a state of anxiety, but you also put pressure on the other person to put in that effort that you could have done ages ago. And when you realize that you can do whatever, whenever, and have this level of self-assurance, your need to receive this from someone else will reduce so much that you become a self-love god and view being alone as a positive rather than a negative. Now that we've spent time with ourselves and given well-deserved attentions to our wants and our needs, it's time to get to know you. And if you don't follow these steps, you will for sure end up losing your identity, and you'll have no idea what you need from yourself, let alone a potential partner. Have you ever asked yourself the question, who am I? Who are you? I can't answer that. I know it's a big question, and only you can look within to find this out. As I do, I'm gonna make it very simple. In order to discover the real you, rather than filling this void talking on dating apps, trying to fix others like the empaths that we are, you have to increase your self-awareness. As an INFJA, as you can tell from my YouTube name, I am well aware of myself. So the first step is to take the very accurate MBTI personality quiz as soon as you finish watching this video. The second step is these 26 questions to get you started on your self-awareness journey. Grab yourself a notebook because you may be writing for hours on end that will enable you to reveal parts of your identity. What I mean by parts is that this may only scratch the surface of the inner work that you need to do for yourself. In other words, this journey is not going to end with these 26 questions because it may reveal more questions that you possibly don't know the answer to yet. Surprisingly, you may then realize that you're actually not ready to pursue anything romantic, and that's okay. It's fine. But what I'd like you to do is never get into a romantic relationship because you always have this constant inner work to do. Oh, I'm working on myself and I can't get into... Yes, you can. As humans, we're always evolving. That's what we do. But it's about getting to the point where you have a fundamental understanding of yourself. If you need more self-discovery prompts, Pinterest has so many more that will help you with deeper aspects of yourself, including goals, self-esteem, and even emotional needs. And for those who want an even deeper understanding, try a therapist to help you figure out why you are the way you are. Everyone has some kind of trauma that leads us into painful situationships with narcissists and cheaters without us even realizing. But we can flip the script. You'll eventually understand how fulfilling it is to prioritize your well-being, and pursuing activities and hobbies that bring you genuine joy will make you 10 times more interesting as a person. Being single is just a status, but being self-aware is a whole nother universe. And through this, you may realize that having a successful relationship does not mean finding someone to complete you. Because if you don't know what you want or what makes you tick, how can your future significant other possibly know too? And there's another failed relationship with your time and energy down the drain and you're back to square one. By understanding yourself, you've actually raised your standards in some way and decreased the dating pool from superficial individuals to self-aware and secure ones. And while they may take longer to sift out, I promise that these gems do exist, and you'll end up seeing a lot more of them more often. Redefining happiness. You spend time with yourself, you understand your wants and needs, and do things that truly bring you joy. Now in this way, your happiness by definition is being content. At this point, aren't you tired of hearing the phrase, oh, I just can't wait to find my other half? Other half of what? Whether you're a glass half full or a glass half empty, this makes no sense. Not to say you need to be full of yourself, but you are now one whole person and your happiness comes from within. Imagine yourself as a pie chart and you believe you're worth 50% of that because you believe you need to find your other half. What your past self used to do is crave for someone to fill this void, and then they have all the power to take it away should they decide to leave you. This is why you guys feel so heartbroken for so long. The huge mistake that we made is that our happiness was dependent on another person fulfilling the 50% of our needs that we could have given to ourselves in the first place. So while you're single, make yourself whole and give yourself everything that you deserve. And the point is, your future significant other will only add to this. So you can be at 100% or 90% because none of us are perfect. And external factors such as friendships and relationships can add to this. And even if they take it away, such as losing a friend or breaking up, you are already a full person anyway. You have to understand that you alone are enough. Now you know that true happiness cannot be found in someone else. And we can redefine happiness as an internal state. Now that we've taken this crucial step and you understand that happiness comes from within, we can now maintain healthy relationships with others, because being single doesn't mean you're literally alone. If you haven't realized this, you may have been neglecting your current non-romantic relationships that already bring value to your life. Please don't be that girl who gets a boyfriend or is drowning in situationship drama and completely abandons their friendships and their family. A clear example of someone who is not that girl. It's like cutting your own leg off. While it's important to have alone time, don't overlook the power of non-romantic connections, because my best friends enrich my life in superior ways to romantic ones. They are super supportive, genuinely care for my well-being, are kind, loving, and so many positive things. It's actually laughable that I've received more flowers and more I love you messages from my friends than any boyfriend that I've ever had. We also have an amazing time when we meet up or go out, and the memories are priceless. And once I realized that my self-love and love from my friends and family are in fact pure and effortless, it completely changed my view on future relationships and friendships. So if you do have these kind of friends and family, please keep them close, because they are a clear example of what to look for romantically: a seamless and effortless connection. Because you know what people say, or even my mum says, when they marry their partner, they're my best friend. Get it now? And remember, when you attract friendships, let alone a partner, you often attract people that mirror your own actions, thoughts, and feelings. Of course, not 100% of the time, but when you project self-love, inner security, and happiness outwardly, it will inevitably cause two things. You will attract someone at the same level of love that you have for yourself because you've taken these steps on board, and you'll repel the people who are the complete opposite. Because who wants that? And let's get really honest. You're gonna have to block out the haters, or those who project their insecurities and invalid opinions on this newfound love that you have for yourself. This leads smoothly onto my last point of uncertainty. There is a huge amount of uncertainty in everything, and that includes being single, being in a relationship, and having friends. You cannot change the past, nor can you predict the future, but one thing that you can change and can control is yourself. Regardless of your relationship status, embrace the uncertainty of life and focus on your relationship with you, and you'll be so surprised how everything falls into place. Before you tell your nearest and dearest about this video, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, because you are now a new and improved woman who doesn't rely on anyone else for their happiness. You're a single Pringle who will decide when to mingle. And please remember that you are enough and your best company. So square your shoulders, lift your chin up, and do the things that give you unlimited joy and freedom. And I will see you in the next video.